Hello, welcome. How is everybody today? This is Patty Bennett, and I am just super duper excited about coloring with Stampin' Blends with you today. I have so many tips to share with you. I'll explain. I will explain. When everybody gets here live, I will regroup and explain because this is sort of a by request video today. It was something that was requested on our recent crafting cruise. And so I will explain that and tell you why I am doing this today. But if you are joining live, you will see a little red live button in the corner that indicates live on Facebook at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Friday, August 29th. So if you're watching something like on the replay on YouTube or on my blog or something and you don't see that live button, then you are catching a replay. But thank you so much either way, whether you're live or watching the replay. I just appreciate you being here. So if you are joining live, say hello so that I can greet you, and I will say, hey, hi, Jackie. I'll just say hi to those people who are jumping on live, who I can see here. Sometimes Facebook likes to Facebook, as we say, and sometimes I don't see all the comments, but hopefully they will pop in. So say hi if you are joining in live. I see Jackie, Kathy, Lori, Carrie, Susan. Hey, Susan, glad you made it. Hey, Tammy. Hello, Nedra. Anyone? It says 45 people, but I know not all of you have said hello yet. Hi, Keisha. Welcome. Hello, Sheila. Hi, Kelly. Welcome, everybody. So glad that you are here. We will get started in about 15 seconds because I know we are already at the top of the hour. I was just like half a minute late jumping on today. Hi, Kelly and Diane. Hi, Sue. Okay, so Sue is here, and Sue is actually the one that inspired this video. So thank you, Sue, for being here today, and thank you for inspiring me to do this video. Like I said in the beginning, I will explain that in just a second. Hi, Anne. Hello, Diane. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Leanne. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy coloring day. Before I go any further, I just want to ask, can anybody hear the fan that is in the other room here? I don't want it to be distracting, but I just need to know, do you hear that in the background? Should I turn it off or is it okay? So if you could just let me know that, then we will get started. Oh, good, Jan. I'm glad you love Coastal Cabana. Yep, we're going to talk about that too. Hi, Penny. Hello, Janet and Blaine. Oh, Blaine, Barbara. Hello. Hello, Leanne. Okay, no, you can't hear it. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Hi, Anne. Hi, Geneva. Yes, Sue, it is. It is totally inspired by you today. Okay, all good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fabulous. All right, let's get started. So, welcome everyone. My name is Patty Bennett. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I am in my 30th year, well, 31st year, technically, I guess. Hang on one sec. Sorry. Let me get a drink. I'm already so excited I need a drink of water. Okay, there we go. Let's start over. This is Patty Bennett. I have been blogging for nearly 20 years at pattystamps.com. I have I think about 65 or 6,600 blog posts for you there. So if you ever need some inspiration, feel free to visit me there. You can also use links on my blog to subscribe to my newsletter, request a catalog, shop for Stampin' Up supplies, whatever you need. It's kind of all there. This is like a one-stop place to get a hold of me. You can contact me through there. So just an FYI, if you haven't visited my blog lately, that is some place that you would want to check out. So today, let me rewind and tell you why I'm doing this video. And I'm glad that Sue is here because Sue is the one that inspired this video. So you know that we just got back a couple weeks ago from our crafting cruise to Alaska. And before that cruise, my friend Sue asked if I would sit with her and just kind of color some images and give her some tips on how I select my Stampin' Blends colors. And I said, yes, I would love to do that because you know me, coloring is like my favorite thing, right? So she brought some markers. She had pre-stamped some images and we sat and colored. And she said that this would make a great video. And other people kind of gathered around. Other people were watching. And everybody was saying, yeah, just need to do this for a video. You need to just sit and color and tell us why you're selecting the colors you're selecting, how you selected them, and why you are coloring with those colors. And I'm like, piece of cake. I can do that. I would love to do that. So that is what today's video is about. But there's kind of some bonuses in today's video. So here are the things we're going to talk about why I use more than just two colors. If you are not familiar, the Stampin' Up markers come in a 2-pack. So for instance, a light and a dark cherry cobbler, or a light and a dark poppy parade, light and dark cloud cover, berry burst, etc. Okay, so I think the thought is most people would grab those two colors and they would color their whole image with two colors. I like more than two, so I'm going to explain to you how I usually start with 6 colors. So that's part of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about warm versus cool. We'll get into that. I won't elaborate right now. I'll show you some ways that I'm inspired for colors. I am going to show you these 6 missing, we'll talk about that, missing colors. There are 6 colors that Stampin' Up! Does not provide in Stampin' Blends, and I'll show you how I achieved those. I will talk about blending while wet versus shading when dry. There is a huge difference. And then lastly, we'll just wrap up with a recap of my 2 very best tips that I kind of stick by when I color. So that's what we're going to go over today. So I know that one thing that people have asked for over and over and over, especially, is garden green. I've been asked, well, how do you get garden green? So I went through the catalog. I'll just show you what I mean by the missing colors. So in the catalog, when you're looking at the Stampin' Up! Colors, so we have 10 in colors here, plus some basics. But here are the 40 colors, the 4 color families of 10. So when you're looking along at the products here and you see cardstock, ink pad, refill, Stampin' Blends, and 12 by 12 two-tone, and then you read across and you so like let's say you needed an ink pad in Bubble Bath. So you go like like that. There you go. Okay, you are going to see in this chart Stampin' Blends come in all 10 colors here. But when you come across here, oops, no crushed curry, no gorgeous grape. If you come over here to the brights, no coastal cabana, and then over here there's no espresso and no basic gray. So that is 6 what I call missing colors. And I've been asked over and over and over and over, well, what about those 6 colors? Since Stampin' Up! Does not provide them. So what I did was I just looked at the colors that we have. So for instance, here are the greens that we have. So I swatched them out and I labeled them. Well, I wrote on there. Okay, so there are greens. I looked at these, and to my eye, if I combined dark shaded spruce and dark granny apple green, in my brain, I thought we could get garden green. So here's what I did. Here's dark shaded spruce, here's dark granny apple, and then in the middle is the 2 colors together, and here is a swatch of garden green cardstock. I don't know about you, but I think I got pretty close. And might I just add that whenever we are talking about color, it is very subjective, because some people would look at this and say, you didn't come close at all. that's too blue, or it's too yellow, or it's too green. So in my eye and my little brain, I think I got fairly close. So what do you think? I'm curious. And of course, also, you have the camera, you have lighting, you have your computer, you have your tablet, your phone, whatever you're looking at, that could come across differently as well. But in real life, in my lighting, in my brain, that's what you combine to get garden green. And all of these will be on my blog tomorrow, by the way. You're welcome to take screenshots now, but if you want to pin them on Pinterest or something, you can pin all of these tomorrow. How do I do it? It just, I don't know. I just looked at it and that's what I thought. I don't know how I do it. I guess it's a good question. Joyce says I nailed it. Awesome. Diane says it looks good. Perfect match, Sheila. Thank you. Okay, so you get what I'm trying to do here, and thankfully, at least some of you think it's pretty close. Close as it needs to be. Let's do that, Jennifer. I like that. I like that. Okay, so that's garden green. So Coastal Cabana, let's find our blue sheet. So here's all of our blues, and we kind of have some, what I would call really like oceany kind of colors to me, peacock and lagoon. I think those remind me a lot of the ocean, and these kind of look like the sky. Some of them are a little greener, some are grayer, like cloud cover is very gray. You have your reddish blues, your navy and blueberry bushel. So there's lots of blues to choose from. And to my eye, when I combined dark balmy blue and light summer splash, I think I got pretty close to Coastal Cabana. So if you're looking to get Coastal Cabana, I think that's a pretty good match. Let's see. Oh, okay, Susan, this is a great comment. She says, some people have an ear for music, some people have an eye for color, and they see it quicker than those who don't. I mean, that could totally be it. Some people can listen to something on the radio and play it on the piano in like 2 seconds, right? That would not be me. So I understand what you are saying. That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Okay, so there was Coastal Cabana. Basic gray, I didn't swatch out the gray colors. I mean, to me, they're kind of boring and utilitarian, and you use gray when you need a shadow. Like, I don't use gray a lot, but this was interesting to me. All I did was do 2 layers of dark smoky slate, and I think I got basic gray. So, moral of the story, if you need a darker color than what we have, just do 2 layers, and there you go. So, that's kind of the boring one, but there you have it. Okay, Gorgeous Grape. Here's our purples. So we have our kind of redder purples and our pinky magenta purples and pinks. Bubble Bath, that's a hard one for me. It goes in the pinks and it goes in the purples. And so do these, actually. I'm kind of like iffy on these. And again, it's subjective. You do what you want to do with all your pinks and purples. But Gorgeous Grape, this one is super easy as well. I just did 2 layers of dark Highland Heather, and I'm pretty sure I got fairly close to Gorgeous Grape. So, I don't know. Debbie says, she's cracking up. I'm brilliant. Well, you're very, very kind. Keisha says grays are great for animals. Yes, they are. Yes. Oh, Lori says, did you try a lot of combos? No, I did not. I actually only tried these once, and I got these. Well, these are all my first tries. It's just what my eye saw. It's just how I saw it. So maybe like Susan said, some people have an ear for music, some people have an eye for color. This is the colors that I saw. So I did it once, and this is what I got. And then Early Espresso, that's another super easy one. If you're not familiar, in addition to those colors I showed you, let me just show you that there are these packs on page 129. And I believe when these were introduced, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I thought they were called the Naturals, but I don't see a reference to that anymore. But it's 5 separate packs here: light, medium, medium, deep, and deep. They show one of them here, and then you can kind of see some of them up there. That again is page 129. And they are 2 packs. Oh, I must have a duplicate here. This is a duplicate. Never mind that one. So here you go. It's 5 packs, and you can get all of them. You can get whichever ones you like, but these are super fabulous for things like bears and dogs and cats and baskets and wood and skin tones. Like, I can pretty much tell you that's my skin tone right there. I'm like a pinky pale person. And so we offer those. And I used the one that is labeled number 100, and I colored it twice. So just, 2 layers. And I think that's pretty darn close to early espresso. This is a tiny bit warmer, but it's close enough. So if you need browns, just grab those 10, what I call natural colors, and play with those. And then lastly, crushed curry. So we only have 6 choices for yellows. I was super duper sad when we got rid of Mango Melody because I felt like that was a color we needed to keep. Personally, I would let go of crushed curry to have Mango Melody, but they didn't ask me, so there's that. I combined dark Darling Duckling, dark Daffodil Delight. So you have that greenish and you have that warmer, and combined, they, to me, in my eye, they give you crushed curry. So there we go. Shan says page 137, it calls them basics. Let me look. No, these are different. These on 137, these are black, bronze and ivory, and crumb cake. That is different from these 10 colors. So Shan, that is not the same thing. So basics are different. Those are 6 more. These are 10, this is 10 more, however you say it. 10 more colors. So Shan, it's not the same thing. Sorry about any confusion. I hope I did not confuse you all. Keisha says, how dare they not ask you? Well, sometimes I wish they would, but they don't. Oh, so Debbie says, my years of working with color helps me to see what would work. Maybe so. So those are, to me, the 10 missing colors. And if you want to create them, like I said, to me, in my eye, that is what you combine. And those will be on my blog tomorrow if you would like to pin them and work with those as your colors. So let's get back to this. And let's talk about the first thing on the list, why I use more than 2 colors. So I already mentioned we only have 6 yellows. Okay. We have a few more than 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 colors. So here's 12 colors, 6 2-packs. So we offer 12 of what I would call the oranges. Cajun Craze kind of could go with browns, kind of can go with orange, right? That would work either way. So we have those in the orange realm to work with. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packs, what I would call kind of your pinkish reds. This happens to be my favorite palette right here. I love all of these colors a lot. In case you haven't noticed. And then we have 6 packs that I would say work as purples. We talked about bubble bath. Really, that can be a pink or a purple. It goes either way. Let me show you when you, let me just like cover it up and show you. With the pinks, It goes really great with Melon Mambo, but it's really different to me when you put it with this. It's kind of, then it's purpley. So that's why I say I think Bubble Bath goes either way. We did already look at the blues. We talked about that. To me, these are like lovely oceany colors. These are lovely sky colors. Take your pick. We have tons of blues. You can tell by these swatches, we have the most blues of any color family, or not family, color hue. And you can also kind of see that when you look on the color wheel. Like, to me, that's a lot of blues. We have a smaller section of green, smaller section of yellow, very few in the orangish realm, and then you have purples, and then you have reds. So definitely blues is the largest section. And then greens, we have a lot of greens. This is where we can really kind of get into this second thing here. Warm versus cool. I'm going to come back to using more than 2 colors when we start coloring. I want to kind of get through this list first. This is where we get into warm versus cool, and this is where it can be subjective. This is where some people will say, I'm crazy. Some people will see it. There are yellow greens. So there is a lot of yellow in those greens. And there are blue greens. So you have a lot of blue. These are cooler and these are warmer. And this actually occurs with all colors. You have warm and cool with all of these. It's okay to mix and match. You don't have to just use your warmer greens or your cooler greens. You can mix and match them. Let me grab this one example real quickly to show you. This has warm and cool greens on this card because the designer paper has blue greens and these cooler greens and the warmer greens all in that paper. So I took this, there we go, number 3, as my inspiration to color and to mix and match and put blue in here and use the bluer greens with the yellower greens. And I think it works perfect. If you don't like it, if your eye says, holy moly, what did she do? Then don't do it. Do what makes your eye happy and what you see and what you love. But I'm just pointing out that there are differences in the yellows and in the blues tones of each color. So inspiration, again, go through your designer paper. To me, that's like your best point of inspiration, and see what colors you want to work with. And then you can go from there and pick out your colors and start coloring. We went through number 6, or excuse me, 4th tip, the 6 missing colors. We talked about that, so we're not going to go over that again. And now we're going to start coloring, and here's where I'm going to show you this tip. I think this is my best tip ever, is you can blend while wet or you can shade when it's dry. There's a huge difference of using an alcohol marker wet and when your project has started to dry. And that's the thing I went over many times with Sue. And as soon as we did this last step and we shaded it after the image had dried, that's when everybody went, oh, wow. Because that's when the colors pop. Okay, so there's the overview. That's where we're headed. You know me, I like the roadmap. And now we will start coloring. I am using my glass mat today because I like coloring on this. I feel like I get my best blending when it's not on top of other paper, soaking into other paper. I like to color with my image on top of the glass mat. And just as a reminder, you always want to use your Memento black ink when stamping your images, personally, I like to let them dry overnight, not just a few minutes. Overnight gives me my best dried image to color on. And basic white cardstock, I personally don't like coloring on the thick. It is a different consistency or something about it. I think coloring is best on the regular basic white, my preference. So glass matte, Memento black, basic white, and yeah, to me those are the biggest tips. So I just wanted to go over that. Yeah, okay, no, I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to. Which pack is SH is 100 in? So Stampin' Up 100. Let me just make sure. That's the dark, the deep. Sorry, it's called deep. I want to call it dark. So this is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 900 and 1000. That's how they did them. Okay, for my brain, sorry, Stampin' Up, I would have gone with 100 and 200 as the light, up to 1000 as the dark, but all you have to remember is that it's opposite. Whatever. Sue. Okay, Sue, so let me just talk about the swatches. These swatches, as you saw, I did in colors. She was saying about making her own color swatches. So these I use just to look at like all the reds, all the greens, etc. Okay. When I am working on a project, a particular project, I swatch only the colors my eye sees in that paper or the colors I think I'm going to use, and I keep these as reference for colors that go together. So your swatches can be either way. It can be per project, or it could be like this. And I think both are very valuable. So if you want to do your own swatches, I would recommend starting with all of these and then making one for each project. I'm just going to catch up on these comments. Sorry, Robin, that I missed the Stampin' Up 100. I answered that. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so Janet says, do you combine them when they're wet? On these, yes. These I did when they're wet. Yes. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Shan. I'm glad you like the way that I approach it. The rose. Oh, thank you, Holly. I'm glad you like this. Yeah, we'll talk about this one. Yes, the glass mat is available. I'm pretty sure it's in the catalog. Let me just look in the index. Let's see. What would that be under tools? Let's see. Flocks, chamois. Oh, it's not listed under tools. I thought it was in here. So I guess it's just an online item, but just type in glass and it'll come up in the online store. Let's see. Any other questions? Stamping on all the whites, Julie? I think I did when I did my basic beige video. I think we covered that. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's talk about picking the colors and why I pick the colors, why I do what I do. Let's do it this way so you can see these yellows. I'm going to start with the easiest one because like we talked about, there are only 6 yellows to choose from, 6 shades. There are 3 colors, but I hope that makes sense when I say 6 yellows because 2, 2, and 2, right? So there's not a lot of extra shading or things you can do with, okay, let me take that back. Rewind that tape. You are not going to get a big broad range of shading and colors if you just use two. So if you just use Lemon Lolly, you're pretty much going to get just a very light yellow project, right? If you just use Daffodil, you're going to get an orange or yellow project. If you just use Darling Duckling, you're going to get a yellow-green looking project, okay? But you're not going to get a lot of contrast between light and dark, because if you can see that, there's not a huge difference. This one's the biggest difference, but there's not a huge difference in the light and dark. So I have combined all 6 colors in these 2 yellow images. And that is why, number 1, I use more than 2 colors, because to my eye, I need to see lots of lights and darks. That is what makes an image pop to me. Now, this is an example of going back when the image was dry and adding a darker color for just a little bit of pop. So I used the 6 yellows, and then I actually grabbed some peach pie, and I used the Stampin' Up! Number 400 to do the center. So then I just gave it a couple little pops of dark on there. And to me, that brings a yellow project just to pop with color. I left this one with only these 6 yellows, and I have not added anything dark to it yet to really make it pop. So I want to show you when you go back in at the end and you shade when dry, that you can really make this pop with some extra darker colors. So I think what I'm going to grab is an orange. So if I look at this, I think if I grab dark peach pie, oh, I grabbed it. Boy, that was handy. And I think I'm going to use the bullet tip, just a little bit of shading. And I just add a little bit of darker color where Stampin' Up! Already has those darker lines. And a little bit where those petals are going to kind of overlap and come together. Can you see the difference? I mean, I hope you can. There is such a difference when you just add a little one shade darker after your image has already dried. And then we kind of have that pop of dark and light. And if you want to go again, and let's see, how about, well, I'm just going to be bold. Let's do it. I'm going to do light timid tiger. This is going to kind of turn this from a more yellow project into kind of a yellow orange, but it's also going to give it that extra little pop of dark, like a low light. I think that might be kind of the right way. Shading, shadows, low light. Oh, my tummy is growling. I'm hungry. Hope you didn't hear that. So there's how you kind of take a yellow project and make it pop with some darker color. You can do the exact same thing with the greens. And what if we just put, let's go dark olive. Well, that's going to be pretty dark, but I just want to show you that difference. That if you wanted to shade in here where some color is going to be darker because it's like shadowed or it's folding in, or maybe the growth of that stem or something is darker, older, there you go. I just added, while it was dry, some darker color, and that's going to stay dark. It's not going to fade in because it was dry. If I keep layering when it's wet, it is going to just soak in, and you're not really going to see that difference in color. So that's just kind of an overview. We'll color one, but I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of where we're headed with that. You will see these on my blog post today. When I do a video, I like to grab my colors and have them handy in however I'm using them during the video. So I have all my colors separated for today's video. This is not how I store my blends. I know a lot of people see these trays and they think this is how I have them at my desk. It's just for the video. And I do have these linked on Amazon. They come in billions of colors, sizes. This is the 6x9x2. And I just like these for organizing. So I've got all my different, so you can see them, all my different colors organized just for the video today. Let me see if there were any. Oh, thank you. Julie just put the number for the glass mat. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, good. You could see it. I'm glad you could see that it came to life. Thank you. Yes, Sue. Sorry, I thought. Yes. So just clarifying, yes. When I did these, they were both wet. I mean, like, I colored Balmy Blue, I colored Balmy Blue again, I colored Summer Splash, and then I put Summer Splash over it. So yes, these were wet because I wanted them to blend together. So yes. Yes, yes. I hope that answered that. I didn't mean to be confusing. Thank you. Oh, Donna says, how do I keep my blends sharp? Well, let's color something, and maybe you can see the way that I'm coloring. So let's just do that. Let's do this one with the peach colors, and I'll show you how I colored them, and maybe that will help you. So I am going to start with light petal pink. So when I swatch them like this, it helps me to see what is my lightest color out of all of these choices, what is my darkest, and what are my midtones. So in my eye, light petal pink is the lightest. And I know it says pink, but to me, this is an orange. So again, subjective, you do what you want to do. I'm keeping this with the oranges. So light petal pink would be the lightest. So I color like this with the marker on its kind of its side. And you guys have seen me color a million times. You know this is my crazy loose coloring method. Right? It's just how I do it. You can take your time. You can, hang on, there's a question, 163987. Okay, could somebody check the glass mat number? Debbie is saying it's not working. Anyway, I do very loose. You can do a method where, you can shade. You can spend 10 minutes on each petal. That's not me. You know me, quick and easy, right? So we're going to do the layers as it's wet. So I am going to grab light peach pie, okay, and add a little more color, not going all the way out while it's wet. I want these to kind of start blending together. But I want to leave some of that light color around the outside. So that's petal and peach. Then I think I will go to light pumpkin pie and just add a little more. Again, I want this to blend in. we'll add that darker shading way at the end. So right now, I'm going to let that sit. I want those to kind of blend together. So what I'll do is I'll move over to the leaves and I'll start coloring the leaves. And then I go back to this when this is dry to add my darker, let's see, was this dark peach pie? I will probably add, and light timid tiger. Did we do light timid tiger? I don't think we did. Yeah, light. I'll probably add those as my darker, and then I'll go back and blend with my lighter, but I'll move over to the leaves. Yes, Donna. So that's what I was saying. So when I color, you saw that I was kind of coloring on the side, and that helps preserve the tip or the point of the marker. How long do you think it stays wet? Jackie, are you asking about the marker or the image? Okay, Denise said the number worked for her. So Debbie, I'm sorry, I'm not sure why the number did not work for you. Instead of using the number, just type in glass, just the word glass, and it'll come up. So what greens do we want to do? Should we look at our little chart? So we could go with these cooler colors over here. We could go with the yellow greens, or we could go with the blue greens. And maybe what would help is we just put the peach next to these and we look and we see, what do we think? So I actually think this would be a nice combo here, the olive and the mossy. But what I'm going to do is start with soft seafoam as my base. If you do watercoloring, you're familiar with wetting your project first. That's kind of what the lightest color does. It's not wet water, but it's wet alcohol. It kind of primes the paper a bit, shall we say? And that's why I would do that. And then let's see, a little light olive. And then I'm going to switch to the bullet tip to start coloring in the stems. It is easier for me to color something skinnier like that with a bullet tip. And then let's move to the light mossy meadow. Let's see what color, oh yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. I'm going really lightly under here in the skinny part. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and use my dark seafoam as kind of my blending color. And when this dries and these blend in together, I think you're going to see what a fun combination this is. There, I like that. There we go. So seafoam, so it's these three right here. Seafoam, olive, and mossy. Those three right there. So now let's come back to this. So I said that I would do, what happened to our peach? Our orange. Here we go. I said that I would do like tiger or pumpkin pie. I think I'm going to go with the light timid tiger and just add some little pops of dark orange. And then we'll come back in and blend. Are you doing it with me? I don't know. I think I'll go to dark petal pink. Must be out here. Yep. Yep. I think I'll go to dark petal pink to just kind of use that to blend, not all the way out to the very edge, leaving just a little bit of the lighter area. My eye likes to see some light. Lights and darks, to me, I like that contrast. I like that contrast. Okay, I need to fill in just a little bit. Do I want, I think I'll do dark peach. You can always add color. I know we have the color lifter. It's not kind of my favorite thing. So I would rather go lighter and build up color than have too much color and try to take it off. There, I like that a lot. I like that. Part of the secret is kind of knowing when to stop. Yes, Kathy, every single Friday video is uploaded to YouTube. You can find my 500 and something videos on my YouTube channel. Every single one of them is there. Every Friday live goes on YouTube. Thank you. I'm glad. So let's see, Jackie, let's see. Oh, how long does the image stay wet is what Jackie was asking. If you're working on the glass mat, it stays wet longer. I will tell you that. If you have layers of paper under it, it's soaking into the paper. It dries faster. I will tell you that. But, like minutes, I don't know, a minute maybe? You have to kind of work fast. And with me blabbering while I'm doing this, it's drying, right? But it's, you get the idea. You get the idea, I think, I hope, of blending while it's wet, going back, shading while it's dry. So I hope that helps you. Why I use more than two colors, warm and cool, where I get my inspiration, and blending while wet versus shading when dry. That's kind of the basics. So let's do another image. Let's do something with a different palette. And what do we want to do? Should we do a... How weird. Hang on one sec. I don't know why all of a sudden my tablet starts playing my voice back to me. Like, don't do that. Should we do... Well, we did a yellow. Wait, did we do... We didn't do a yellow. Do you want to do... Do you want to see this done? Do you want to see one of these? What do you want? I want to do what you want to see. Let me pause for a second and see what you want me to do. Beth, you are so kind. She says she's going to watch over and over. Oh, you're so sweet, Julie. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Faith. You are so kind, everybody. Red flowers, says Heather. Okay, we can do red flowers. You know what I do want to try? Well, no. I was going to say a red sunflower, but sunflowers, they're kind of like orangey red, aren't they? We can do this one. We'll do this one. Anything blue, says Sue. Lisa says the roses. Nell says the red flower. Beth wants the reds. Geneva wants pinks and purples. Lisa loves our class. I love that you love our class. That's fabulous. You know what? I was just thinking, what if I do this smaller image with the reds so that we don't have to take 500 years to color? Not that it took 500 years, but you know, just so it goes faster, we can do this one real quick so that we could also move on to a purple and a blue, because I want to do a blue for Sue. All right, so I want to leave my greens out. I'm shuffling, as if you can't tell over here, I am shuffling all the trays. All right, so this one, I'm pretty sure I started with light flirty flamingo. And what is super interesting, look, I'll just do it here. Flirty flamingo is a totally different color when you first color it and when it dries. It is an interesting color. But anyway, nonetheless. So let's go with light flirty flamingo as our base. So for those of you who watercolor, it's kind of your water layer that you're going to put down. And then let's move to, what do you want to go to? Let's go to dark flirty flamingo. And so I'm just going to kind of, let me see if I can zoom in, and then I'll move this. There. Will that help? Okay. So then we're going to just add some dark flirty flamingo, kind of where those shadows would be, where one flower petal would overlap another. Now we're going to let that one dry, and we're going to move to the leaves so that we can really get our contrast to darken on here. Let's go light Granny Apple as our base. And if you haven't noticed, I like to leave some whites kind of out at the tips generally. I just think it looks more shaded when you leave some light colors, some light white areas. Okay, now let's come back with, let's do Strawberry Slush. Oh, that's Poppy. It's dark. Okay, light Strawberry Slush. Add a little darkened areas. And I know it looks weird as I'm working on it, but you have to just trust the process and just learn to keep adding layers and then go back and blend when you're all done. This is dark Granny Apple. So we have our light and dark Granny Apple. Just giving little bits of shading. And then what do I want to use now? Let's go light pretty in pink. Dark. No, we already did light. No, we didn't. Let's do dark. It's in my hand. Let's see what that does. So this is going to add just kind of that little touch of orange to that. Just a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. I hope it's picking up on camera. Green, what are we going to add for a little bit of darker green? Let's see. Let's see what a little bit of Shy Shamrock will do. So don't be afraid to try some colors. Don't be afraid to mix and match. Don't just do your light and dark red, your light and dark blueberry bushel, your light and dark daffodil. Mix up the colors. Isn't that beautiful? Look how fun that just, oh, I don't know. I think that just looks amazing. I love that. So now, what would be kind of my darkest? Probably dark Strawberry Slush. Put in just a few little spots of dark. Just trying to see like where are these overlapping? Where would there be a shadow? Where is there a darker color? It's just what I'm hitting here with this dark Strawberry Slush. Okay, we'll let that sit just a second, and then we'll go back over it with our lightest color, which was light Flirty Flamingo. But I want to go back over some of the green. I was gonna try, I'm gonna be brave, and I'm gonna do a layer of light lemon lime, and I'm gonna see if I like this. I do. So light lemon lime twist is what is going to blend those colors together with the greens. Oh, I love that so much. So much. And then light flirty flamingo. I'll just kind of go back and blend all those in, leaving some light spots. The minute you color all the light spots, your image will go completely flat. I guarantee it. Okay, and that's it. So this one is a little bit lighter palette than this. On this one, I added cherry cobbler. And actually, like, let's just do it. Like, I will just show you. I put cherry cobbler as my very darkest. So we're going to turn this one from kind of more of a flirty flamingo into the reds. So I'm going to add cherry cobbler, and then I'm going to blend with some real red to totally darken the whole thing, because you can do whatever you want. It's just paper, and it's just fun. Okay, so that's cherry cobbler. You can see how that already darkened it. I know I said I was going to go with light real red. I'm almost afraid to do it. It's going to be dark. That's not too bad. I have to be light with this one because I just don't want to cover up all of that shading. But I just wanted to show you how to turn it into the more red than the flirty flamingo. And then I'm going to let that sit again, and I'm going to use dark cherry cobbler to make it the darkest reds dark. So then I want to darken my greens because you kind of go from dark dramatic to not. Does that make sense? I'm just going to do, I know this is going to be dark. This is dark shaded spruce. Just a tiny bit. Let's see, wherever these would be the darkest. Just a little bit. Is that popping? Can you see that? Can you see how adding the shaded spruce made those leaves darken again? And then I will shade with Granny Apple one more time. So back and forth, adding your darks, adding your shading, shadows. And I think you can kind of see now why something like that, oh, I forgot we were so zoomed in, why you can kind of see how this is helpful, because it's really showing you all the way from your lightest colors to your darkest colors. And without that, you're just constantly grabbing markers and trying to figure out, well, what do I want to do? What will make this darker? What will make this pop? What would be a good shadow? And it's hard to tell. Okay, so I'll just blend out just a little. I'm glad I tried that. I like it. And then I think, no, that's strawberry. What happened to my here? Light red. No, you know what? Let it be. Let it be. Sometimes you just have to walk away. You just have to stop. So do you see how that brought this image from the flirty flamingo pretty in pink over to the darker reds? I hope Hope you could see that. Let's zoom back out here. Let me see, did I do that right? Oh. Something like that. We'll do that. Okay, sorry. Now I want to catch up on comments. Let's see. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, white spaces, Julie. Oh, what stamp am I using? Let's see. I have all the stamps right here. So this one that we just did is Charming Day. That one. This big one is Layers of Beauty. I don't think, oh yeah, I do have Coneflower out here. So Coneflower you saw that I was using. And did I just use something else? Oh, this one. This one is this, Thankful Garden. And then what I do want to show you, because I just remembered that it's out here somewhere, this one. I just created this card a week ago, and I was going to show you pumpkins if you want to see it. I know we're already at an hour, and oh my gosh, it feels like 3 minutes. But if you want to see pumpkins, I have those stamped as well. We can do that. But anyway, oh man, I just get so excited. Can I just sit and do this all day? Can somebody give me permission to just sit here and color for the rest of today? I don't know where I was headed. What was I going to say? I have no clue. I guess I should answer questions, shouldn't I? Oh, Susan says she feels like she's getting a master class. You're so kind. You're so sweet. Let's see. Joanne, you're watching live. You're not watching a replay. Hello, Joanne. You're here. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Holly. Okay, Kathy liked it better before I added the reds because she's more of a pastel person. Yep, well, personally, I like the lighter one as well, but a lot of you asked for the red, so I was trying to go with that. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Oh, pumpkins. Okay, yes, pumpkins. All right, we'll do pumpkins. Awesome. All right, we will do that. I just want to think for a minute. Did I show you? Because I had a lot of these stamped and ready to go. Okay, well, I guess we'll just do pumpkins. I don't know what else I was going to show you. I don't really remember. So let's grab pumpkins. I know I stamped them. Yep, here they are. See, I have all of this ready to color, so I think I'm going to give myself a little permission. Oh, wait, I have another live today at 2 o'clock with Tammy. I can't sit and color all day. We are going to be showing you our upcoming Christmas class, sneak peeks, and a whole bunch of information about our Christmas class. So you're going to want to tune in again at 2 o'clock if you're available. All right. Oh, blues. That's right. We were going to do blues. Okay. Yes. But I don't know. To me, there really aren't a lot of blue flowers. So I'm not sure that I have the right images to do blues. But you know what? We can do this fast. I would love to try a blue coneflower. So hang on. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out the blues. And I'm going to put this right here next to me. That's going to remind me. We're going to try a blue coneflower. Let's do this quick. All right. Light peach pie is what I started with. Light peach pie. Let's see. Let's try that again. But then you can't see the colors. I don't know. Maybe that's too much. Hopefully you can see. Okay, so light peach pie, not coloring in every single bit of it. Leave a little light space. I sound like a broken record. We are going to go to yellows for the gourd. So I am going to do a light lemon lolly just for kind of a base. And then we'll jump back and forth a bit. Oh, and sorry, the corn, our base color. So we've got our base down. Now I think I'll go to light pumpkin pie. That's tiger. That's peach. Well, pumpkin pie will appear sooner or later. Here it is, light pumpkin pie. And using the Stampin' Up shading, we go over a bit of the shading. And if you noticed, I'm coloring in like arcs to kind of go with that shape. I'm not coloring like straight up and down or across. And then we'll go with, what did I pull out? We'll just go with it. Dark Lolly. We'll give a little bit of darker shading on the yellow gourd. And then we can flip over to, I'm just grabbing colors. Lemon Lime Twist. That's what we're going to go with. That's what we'll start with. With some of the green. And then what'll be our next one? Let's do a Timid Tiger for kind of our next darkest. I know my husband is going to comment on how long this live went today. My son kind of rolls his eyes. He's like, Mom, people do not do hour-long videos, but I do. But you know, when you love what you do, the time just passes like so fast. I swear it has felt like about 5 or 10 minutes of coloring with you. Really, it has. A little bit here. I'm just giving a couple of layers of colors of the green. And then, let's see, what about, I'm going to try dark daffodil to just darken up our shadows on the gourd. And that's it for the gourd. It doesn't really need too much color. It's so small. So back to the pumpkin. I am going to try peach pie as kind of my, yeah, that's my, like my blending color. Okay. And then we need some darker, is this daffodil? Yeah, we need some darker spots here on the corn just to give it a little bit of interest. Let's do, since this marker is sitting here, that was that 400. Let's just do a little bit of brown on the stems. Because I think, I don't know, am I right that the stems can be kind of brownish and greenish? I don't know. I don't really remember. Grab Calypso Coral for these little, I don't know, wheat things. I don't know what they are. Just to bring in a sort of a different pop of color. In fact, what the heck? Let's put some Calypso Coral on the pumpkin. Why not? Because we can. I actually really like that a lot. A lot. And then I think we just need some dark pops of green in there. Is this mossy? Yep. Be brave. Put some really dark mossy meadow in here for those darks and lights. Because, you know, like I say, you got to have the darks and the lights. Use it a little bit for the shadow. Because without the real dark shadowed parts, then you don't have that contrast. And I love the contrast of the light and the dark. And then a little granny apple to pop those greens. Just fill in a little bit of that green kind of in the background there. And that's really it. That is really about it. Let's see if we even got close. Hey, we got pretty close, didn't we? I wasn't really trying to copy it. But to really make that pumpkin pop, like I'm thinking, is pumpkin pop a color? No, it's not. That's just silly. I'm going to put dark Cajun Craze with the bullet tip. Just a little bit here and there where those dark shading lines are, just to give it that dark pop. Okay, and then let that sit just a minute, like dry, 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 dry. And then we'll go back with our light, I think we'll do light peach. Is this, yeah, light peach for our final shading. Just to blend that a tiny little bit, just so it isn't sitting there like just a dark blob of color. And then when that dries, I think that's going to be perfect. Do you like it? What do you think? Let me know. Thank you, Patsy. Let's see. Geneva says it's gorgeous and she doesn't even care for fall things very much. Thank you, Susan. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Oh, thank you, Nedra. You're so sweet. I know. I wish I had corn on the cob right now too, Debbie. Doesn't that sound delicious? Oh, add green to the gourd? I could, but I really liked this pop of yellow. To me, if I made it green or orange, or yeah, it would just, there'd be too much of all that color. So I wanted it to pop, but you know, you can do exactly what you want to do, right? Yes, Susan, my 2 o'clock live will be right here on the same Facebook page. I posted a reminder yesterday, and there will be another reminder on there again today. Okay, so let's try a blue coneflower really quickly, because why not? Because we can, right? We can do anything. Oh, I already got the blue, so we'll have our blue coneflower. We're gonna try it, friends. So let's see. I can already see balmy blue. Let's see. Can you see that? Just checking. Yes. Light balmy blue is going to be my base. So remember, like I said, if you're used to kind of watercoloring and you lay down water first, this would kind of be that. Okay, so we'll do just a light balmy blue as just a base layer. And then we'll look at our colors here. And I think I'll move to Azure Afternoon. To my eye, that would be the next, that's dark balmy. That would be the next darkest, light azure. Okay, so then we'll just take strokes like this in the same arc as the flowers. And then we'll fill in a little where there are these underneath petals. Like that. And then what would be next? Maybe I'm going to go with dark blueberry bushel. Oh, that's out of navy. So the other reason I like to swatch these, you get so many colors that are almost the same color cap, and you're like, I don't know. So that's why I like to swatch them, because I can see the absolute true color. This is dark blueberry, so this is going to give it a nice dark shading where the petals are coning in. Are they coning in? Is that a word? I think I made up a word. Coning in. Uh-oh. I think I'm getting really hungry. Okay, then we're going to do Light Night of Navy. I'm just going to keep building up colors here. Building up the dark colors. And then I think it's time to go back and blend it all with Balmy Blue. So we're going to do that. But before I blend and let that sit just a minute, what is our center? I think like yellows and oranges, because those would be complementary colors. So that's Petal Pink. I'm going to pull out some Calypso and some, oh, not Darling Duckling. Some, oh, we could try Lemon Lolly. Give it a little yellow. But that's not really what I wanted. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking orange-er. So what if we add the Calypso? Yeah, orange-er. I like orange-er. And a little bit of Timid Tiger for shading. I like that. Okay, and then what did I say we were going to do? Dark Balmy Blue. And I know I just had it like in my hand. Right there. Okay, and this will blend almost all the way out to the edges, so that that original light Balmy Blue that we did is just going to end up being seen way out at the tips. And it just gives you those little bits of highlights. Well, I like it, friends. I think it's fun. And I'm going to go one more layer. As soon as this dries, just a minute. Let me kind of let the alcohol evaporate. This is Dark Navy. Just a tiny little bit. Right up here where it curves in, and a little bit of shadow. Just a little bit of shadow. And then when that dries, that's just gonna pop that color. Okay, blue lovers, I hope you didn't mind that it was a cone flower. Ah, thank you, Susan. Thanks, Heather. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Tammy. Timid Tiger, you could add Timid Tiger to this. Or maybe I did, actually. Making your blue heart happy. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. Imagine it next to any other. Oh, yes, you're right. So if I actually do have some other cone flowers that are already cut and ready to go on a project. But yes, if we combined, come back out here. If we combined like this and then an orange one on one project, I mean, like, wow, right? Wouldn't that be gorgeous? So let me write myself a note. This one will be orange. And then I will have to post that project for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Sue, again, for requesting that I sit and color and blabber and tell you about my thoughts and how I like to use the colors and all of that. So I'm glad that you stuck with me. How's that? Oh, friends. Well, I know this was super long. I appreciate you sticking with me. I hope that you enjoyed seeing how to create the missing colors. I hope that you'll join me on pattystamps.com tomorrow. So that will be August 30th, so that you can check out all of those and pin those and use those in your projects. Oh, thank you, everybody. You are all so sweet. You guys are cute. I'm reading your comments. I'm glad you like the swatch sheets, Janet. Oh, Pat, you're so sweet. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right, friends, have a wonderful weekend. I hope you'll join me again in a couple of hours when Tammy and I go live at 2 p.m. Pacific time today. And I hope that you will come back next week. We will be doing the sunflower folder next week. More fun with that. I will see you all soon. Bye.